Hello, I want to make this over here and I want to talk about some issues when it comes to Evil Dead, the game that I currently believe in firmly, and I've played this. I'm a Max Puppeteer, so I just want to talk about it and get this out there. So, game hours, I think I have about 2 days played on this in total of game time, and I want to go through a few issues that I currently have with the game. I want to start off with support Ash. I have a long running joke with my brother currently who also plays it. And my thing is that I feel he is the worst support class out of them all. I think Pablo making his amulets can be really good in a lot of cases. I think that Cheryl currently, like, they're getting nerfed and they deserve the nerf. And I feel like when it comes to Ash, he heals a lot, but it's kind of weird because there's not a definite play style for him. You're pretty much using your fist, a knife, or some fast attack weapon. And when it comes to the other characters, and then he also wait on he also has the perks that increase that do the headshot damage, and if somebody else gets the headshot or some, he gets buffed from it. And that's good. I mean, I play Amanda, so it's really worth it. But it makes his gameplay style very weird because it he doesn't have a definite play style. You can play him Gunner in a thing. You can play him in that, but you're not really playing a full rushdown build. Then you're not playing a whole like. Who are you playing? We're talking like characters where you can have like a Cheryl, a Pablo on your team. You can have like Lord Arthur and stuff like that. Then sure, he's good, but he's just kind of fine in my opinion. He has more healing than Cheryl. Cheryl just I think is better. Worth also pointing out, so that's why I think Ash is kind of a joke. He might need a little buff even though he's getting nerfed. I would say maybe make it where he has more of a definite play style. I think that if you're making a heavy thing, maybe make it where the tag attack is something that like maybe all of his attacks have, and then you just nerf it more. Oh, if he attacks a creature, okay, well this person gets bonus damage to him, and they also gain healing. Perfect. Which in that case would make him actually a lot more fun. I would feel, and more fair. Talking to another character I want to go on to who I think is very weird currently, and that's going to have to be it's going to have to be the leader Ash, and I want to put Scotty in there too. Scotty has perks that are okay. I feel explosion. He does half the damage of an explosion than the evil or Army of Darkness Ash. He has that when Army of Darkness Ash loses a shield bar, he does 200% damage. Good. But then Scotty can just activate an ability and do half that, which is kind of dumb. Collateral damage, I think, is actually worth it if you're using Lord Arthur or someone on your team and you're just having that and you're doing melee. Sure, he will be fine. His other two perks are okay-ish. I feel they're okay. And that talking about also Leader Ash, I want to go on to him as well. Um, so Lord Arthur has a gun build, or Lord Arthur has a melee build. He's entirely designed for melee. And Annie is a gun build character, and she's good at gun build too. She's pretty good. Leader Ash, I don't know what the game plan is with him because I reduce people's fear. Okay, well, there's support Ash. Okay, so I also, you deal more damage with El Jefe. Okay. Oh, I think he starts with the chainsaw, I think, is it? It's either there, it's the boomstick. In either way, it's fine, I guess. You can get the boomstick and the chainsaw as common weapons, it's not really hard. It's not really worth it. It's kind of like Amanda's ability. It's not really worth it. You don't need it. I think the only way to truly fix him as a character, and actually a pretty good way to, would, much like Support Ash or Sash, make it more of a playstyle thing with him where if he's not like a support or range, make him do some like really cool things. Maybe he increases survivors' movement speeds. Maybe he makes them take reduced damage. Maybe he increases your dismemberment damage for all of the teammates. Stuff like that would be really cool to add on him. Just go completely wacky with him, and people will play him. I mean, okay, if we're not playing this and we're not playing this, we're gonna have a character in here. Okay, if we have Leader Ash in here, we can see that this Leader Ash does increased dismemberment damage here. And we're versus like a necroman. Well, let's not say necroman. We're versing against like a warlord. So when they're trying to hit us with their heads, we're going to have more of like, and stuff like that. Just make a cool playstyle with them. It would be a lot more fun. And finally, I want to talk about the last character we're talking about, and that's going to have to be Puppeteer. I think Puppeteer is a relatively good class, and actually really hard to counter in a lot of cases. The one main issue I have is, oh my goodness, they suck against a melee build. I played against a, what was it? It was like a Lord Arthur, Cheryl, Army of Darkness Ash, and a Scotty, I think. And I versed like those three characters. I couldn't, it's hard to win. If you're in even the objective zones, it's so hard to win, especially at that. Yes, with the Demi-Ellie Ghost, you can just cancel your Thunder Strike really early and get your shots. It's hard when you're versing an evil Army of Darkness Ash or some other characters. It's pretty hard. And even though I put a lot of pressure in early game, I still ended up losing for that. Now, granted, I won't say I'm perfect at the game. I may not be, so I won't say that. Just take what I say with a grain of salt. I truly think that maybe Puppeteer should have, what can you even make it without, I think the Eligos is good. I think the Demi-Eligos, I think that maybe they need to make the AI for the Demi-Eligos' duplicate a lot better. It's very weird because sometimes you'll split and then it'll Thunder Strike like 2 seconds later. Or it'll just sit there and start swinging at somebody and then it'll die in like 2 seconds. And it's very weird because if you had that combo, especially with Insane Clown Posse and stuff, its perks, like if you had it where he started shocking and they're like, okay, I'm gonna dodge, and then you shocked them, it would be such a cool thing to do. And maybe find a way to fix the duplicates things, and that's really it I can suggest for this. And I like the new patch ideas that are coming out. I like these ideas. I like the fact that we're gonna Cheryl nerf. They're removing a lot of the text that's going out, like the instant Thunder Strike tech, the melee cancels and stuff like that. I like that they're removing them, or they're making them a lot harder to do, because it's a little more noticeable in game. Like, it's not fully noticeable, but when you're playing a game, you can kind of notice it. Especially when I played Survivor, fastly killing something just felt great. Anyways, I'm going to head out of here. These are just me spitting out my thoughts on these characters and what I would suggest. And I'm curious if anybody else would want to see change in these characters, or what kind of changes they would say, or any other characters that need changes bad. These are just the characters I have off the top of my head, and I currently like them. I love the game currently. I can't speak too much bad on it. It's good. skill cap, I would say, is a little questionable considering it came from Dead by Daylight, and killers on there versus Kandarian Demon. It becomes a lot harder because the playstyle changes. Very weirdly, it's kind of easy to know how to play every Kandarian Demon. So, yeah. I have 3 lost games currently, and I'm a level 45 Puppeteer. So, I might be credible in a children's playbook. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here. Here's my thoughts on that, and I'd like to hear anyone else's thoughts if anybody clicks on this video. And, alright, see ya.